Hello everybody, my name is Jeffrey Martin. I am a public librarian, but this particular video is not part of any job assignment. I've been doing some readings from My Fangtastically Evil Vampire Pet by Mo O'Hara. I wanted to finish that out and probably continue to do some more story times from home, and this will go with that. We're on chapters 19 and 20. That's what I'm going to read today. When we got back, I put Fang down behind some logs by the campfire clearing. Okay, my little evil cat burglar, can you go and find that evil plan's notebook in Sandra's tent while they're at dinner? She purred and slunk off toward the tents. It was going to be so good when I got that notebook back. In the meantime, I had to warn Igor. I found him dozing as everyone was lining up to get their food for dinner. He was still in disguise as a sleeping bag and still looked really comfortable. I got sleepy just looking at him. I shoved away another camp kid who was about to sit on him and crouched down on the ground. Hey, Igor, I said, and shook what I thought was his shoulder, but actually was his leg. Wake up, man, or you'll miss dinner. Ugh, he said, and nodded. And another thing, you might want to stay away from Sandra and Dustin for the next day until the contest is over. I just heard something. I'm not sure anything, but I don't trust them. I added, Oh, Igor said and got up. We walked to dinner together, and I lined up behind him with my tray. Soon Diablo and Bob fell in behind us. Hey, Mark, we're going to put the final touches on our trap tonight, Bob said. Yeah, you want to help us, Diablo said. We're meeting down by the edge of the woods after dinner. Sure, I said. Our trap is totally under control, so I can help with yours too. No sweat. Result. Mark and the Snakeinator is still in demand. I can win with my trap, but still help my evil posse come in second. I saw Sanj and Dustin get in line to get their dinner. How's your little project with Geeky Girl going? Sanj sneered as he scooped up evil casserole on offer. It's totally going to beat any lame trap that you're doing, I said. I'm so far along on our trap that I'm even taking time to help out Bob and Diablo with theirs. That's how good my trap is, I said. And Igor here, his trap is way better too. I turned to Igor, what is your trap anyway? Igor mimed a giant net, then mimed the giant net ripping. Okay, Igor's is broken, but it was a way better trap than yours anyways, so there, I said. Igor nodded, I noticed he stepped back a little from Sanj and Dustin. You'll see tomorrow evening, Sanj smiled. All will be revealed. Then he did his evil wheeze and headed off to sit with Dustin. That guy should see a doctor about that wheeze, Bob said. After dinner, I went over to the log to give Fang some casserole, but she wasn't there, so I headed back to the treehouse to check on her. As I approached, I could hear breathing coming from inside the hut. I pulled myself up on a low branch so I could peek over the edge. I could just make out a gray tail sticking out from under the corner under my sweatshirt, and what looked like the corner of my evil plan's notebook under the tail. Result! Fang, the super stealer, had gotten it. I wanted to grab it right away, but she looked cute when she was asleep. Not that I would ever tell her that or admit it to anyone here. Still, I guess she'd had a long day. She might as well sleep. She was only missing mystery evil casserole anyway for dinner. I'd bring her double sausage in the morning and pocket that evil notebook too. I let myself have a little mwahaha whisper as I headed up to the edge of the woods. It was just starting to get dark when I got there. Bob and Diablo were covering up a place in the ground with branches. Oh, so it's the old cover up a hole with branches and the person falls in kind of trap? I said. Yeah, I'm not going to fall for that one. I walked carefully around the branches. Suddenly the ground beneath my feet gave way and I tumbled in the darkness of their pit trap. I splattered as I fell backward on my butt. I could hear laughing up at the top of the pit, and I could see Diablo and Bob's faces looking over the side down at me. You should have seen your face when you fell, man, Diablo laughed. That was classic, Bob said in between heaving laughs. Okay, you got me, I said. That's a good fake out on the classic pit trap. Oh, that isn't the only catch with this trap, Bob said. We asked you to help out with this because we knew you wouldn't be freaked out by the next bit, Diablo said, Snakeinator. Then I heard the hissing. In the dark behind me in the hole, I couldn't see anything, but I could hear it. Hiss. That's chapter 19. Now we're going to do chapter 20. Fang? I whispered, hoping that somehow it was my evil little kitten and not some big body snake that was really unhappy about being put down in a pit with people nearly falling on him. Then I saw the eyes, a glow of 2 yellow slits in the darkness. What is that? Guys, come on, let me up now, I said, keeping my cool barely. Dude, it's just another snake, Diablo shouted down. You totally took care of that one in the tent, no problem. Yeah, we want to see how long it will take you to fight off the snake and escape the trap so we can see how well it works before tomorrow, Bob said. No big deal, it's just a snake, right? Yeah, just a snake, I said, backing away from the glowing eyes in front of me. I tried to reach up and grab a root or a branch or something. It's too easy, guys, you know. Might as well pull me up right now. Come on, Mark, we need to know how long it takes you to fight the snake, Bob said. Hey, you know, maybe we should have put 2 snakes in there, Diablo started to say, just as the snake flicked its tongue out toward me and stretched its mouth wide open. Okay, your trap wins. Just let me up now. The snake is for real. I hollered up. I had to get out of there. I tried to climb up the dirt walls of the pits, but it was too slippery, and I kept sliding down. My palms were sweating so much that the dirt was forming into sweaty mud cakes on my hands as I clawed at the walls. I landed with another thud in a puddle at the bottom of the pit, splashing into the darkness where the eyes lurked. I don't think the snake liked being splashed. It slithered out and circled me. Get me out, guys. This isn't funny, I shouted, but they just laughed. Then there was another splash, and something joined me in the pit. Fear gripped my body as my eyes adjusted to the dark. Was it another snake? But then I saw 2 more eyes. These ones were green and bright with a distinctly evil flash in them. Fang! I could hear Bob say, the raccoon just jumped straight in. Weird. Fang darted through the puddle and jumped straight at the snake. Be careful, Fang, I shouted to her. Are you talking to the raccoon? Diablo shouted. Then I heard, I think maybe he knocked his head when he fell in. Fang and the snake were rolling around in the mud. I could hear her hiss and meow, and the snake hissed right back. That doesn't sound like a raccoon. That sounds like a cat, Diablo said. And that hiss sounds like a cat hiss. That was the hiss from the tent the other night, Bob said. It wasn't a snake at all. It was a cat in the tent. I should have been worried that they had just uncovered my whole snake fake-out plan, but I was too worried about Fang being swallowed up whole by an angry viper. Fang, watch out! I shouted as the snake tried to bite her tail. She was fast, though. She dashed under and around the coils of the snake. Maybe she was trying to tire it out. Maybe she was waiting to get a good bite in somewhere. I don't know what's going on inside that evil kitten head, but whatever she was doing, she seemed like she had a plan. That is right up until the snake started to squeeze. I could see that it had wrapped itself around her and gotten her tail in its coils. Something snapped at me, and I reached out to pull at the wriggling snake to try to pull Fang free. It was too strong, though. The snake turned its head toward me and snapped just as I pulled my arm back. In that moment, Fang had rolled herself and the snake into a puddle. With a squelch of muddy fur, she managed to slide her tail out of the slippery coils. She turned on the snake, and with a fierce kitten meow, she jumped behind it. Then to its left, its right, under and over she ran. The snake followed the kitten's movements, trying to grab her tail with its open mouth. She was always 1 inch ahead of the jaws. Just as the snake twisted to follow her and attack, it suddenly stopped. All right, so that's the end of chapter 20. This real snake, is coming after Mark, and then Fang's trying to help, and his friends have figured out that he was lying about the snake the other night, so we will see how this turns out. Thank you. Have a good day. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.